Hi, Congressman. What were you shouting to the president, sir? Sir, what were you shouting to the president?
The president said he had a mandate. And I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap on Social Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt, and we've got to protect Medicare. These are the safety net programs that people in my congressional district depend on. And this president seems to care less about them and more about the number of people that he can remove from the various programs that have been so helpful to so many people.
So is yelling during his speech the best way to get that across?
Well, it is the best way to get it across to a person who uses his incivility against our civility. He is a person who has consistently been used incivility against civility.
So do you have no mandate? Is that what you said?
Well, look, I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
So were you saying you have no mandate? Is that what you just said?
That's what he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. None.
Is the only punishment that you were kicked out, sir? Is there something?
I don't know. Whatever the punishment is, I'm not fighting the punishment. This is about the people who are being punished by virtue of losing their health care. This is the richest country in the world, and we have people who don't have good health care. We've got to do better. And now we're about to cut Medicaid, which is for poor people. Health care has become wealth care for many people, and we can't afford to let that happen.
Is that the only thing that you're protesting?
No, I have other things I'm protesting. And I'm also working on my articles of impeachment. This president is unfit. He should not hold the office. 34 felony convictions, 2 times impeached.
Sir, tell me one more time what you were shouting in the chamber.
That he has no mandate to cut Medicaid.
That's what you were saying over and
Yes.
over. Thank you, sir.
Yes, no mandate. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Woo-wee. Let me say that. Okay, you say what you gotta say.
My thing is, my only thing is like, these Democrats are living in a, if this happens, then I can get about it now. Like, it's like, okay, if worst case scenario happens, I'll be complaining. So let me take that complaint and let me act like that. Let me take on that worst case scenario.
That and I think there is a very have anything else. Their only thing is to make Trump look like he is going to destroy the country. Right. Now, I will say this. I'm not totally upset with Al Green for what he did. I'm very much an advocate of protecting poor people and vulnerable people, the elderly, children. Poor people, yes, you can change your situation. You don't have to be poor forever. But there are a good amount of poor people in this country. That's just the reality of what it is. And they need health care. You know, health care, I believe, is a human right. And if Trump was lying about having a mandate, was that the perfect time to do it? Probably not. But I guess he felt like, you know, this was the perfect opportunity for him to call Trump out while everybody's looking and while everybody's watching. Because the thing with the Democrats is they like you said, they wanna play on the worst case scenario. And like I said, it's because that's really all they have to stay afloat right now, is to make Trump look like he's destructive. You know, you have other countries starting to mimic that sentiment because the Democrats and liberal media have that in rotation around the clock about how much of a disaster Trump is to this country. And like I said, I don't have any issue with him, as he said, standing up for his constituents. He's in a district where there's a lot of poor people, and he can't make they don't need to have cuts to Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security. I agree with that. On the flip side of that, the Democrats are failing to take accountability for how wasteful they've been with money. Like you guys are saying, we can't cut this and we can't cut that. Well, for years, a lot of you have stayed silent with all the waste. Trump went down a list of things that money was being wasted on. So if you're going to cry bloody murder, you should have been crying it all across the board when all that money was leaving the country that should have been staying here to fund Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. But it seems like when the Democrats are doing something, they all stay silent. Nobody really speaks up. But as soon as Trump or the Republicans do something, it's like, oh no, you can't do this, and we can't have cuts. And well, you all should have been telling your colleagues, okay, maybe we need to cut back on some of this money that we're sending out in foreign aid. Maybe we need to vote against sending money, like they were spending money when it was in alignment with what they wanted. So I feel like it's hypocritical. Like I said, I don't really have a problem with him standing up for his constituents, but the Democrats, they have a lot of in-house cleaning that they're going to have to do. There's no order.
I agree with you here, right? Being less is uncivilized, right? Don't make stuff up and act like you're doing something on something that doesn't exist. Here is a quote from Donald Trump on Fox News, February 18, 2025. Trump stated, Medicaid, Medicare, none of that stuff is going to be touched. He was sitting alongside Elon Musk when he said that in an interview with Hannity. There is no evidence nowhere that anyone can find online that states that Trump says that he has a mandate to cut Medicaid, Medicare, or Social Security. So for this guy to act like he did all of this because that's what Trump is going to do is completely disingenuous.
Well, if that is the case, then I concede to the fact that he was completely out of order and out of line, because if there's no evidence that Trump said he had a mandate, now this is what Representative Al Green is saying.
I just did an AI search. It's not out there.
Well, like I said, this is what the Democrats have. That the only thing the Democrats have at this point, because what we can see, even across liberal media, I mean, shows are being taken off the air left and right. The Democratic Party and liberal media and everybody who's in alignment with the Democratic Party, they completely crashed out after the election. They're losing viewership left and right. They're looking like a bunch of idiots. Like they're a party with no direction, and that's why I continue to say, instead of coming out here trying to fearmonger the people into believing that Trump is going to destroy the country, they need to be support, and they just have a lot of work to do, and I feel like they're focusing on the wrong things, and if they continue down this path, they are going to completely fail as a party and lose elections for at least the next 4 to 6 elections. Like they're going to have a real hard run ahead if they don't get it together. Stop having Trump as the boogeyman as their only strategy, because people don't care. He won the election. You guys spent the entire time trying to fearmonger and scare people, and he still won. That means your strategy is a losing strategy, and you need to just drop that. They need to just get rid of that and start from scratch. Now, this one particular person, she has absolutely no plans to pump her brakes. She has been on the Trump fear-mongering train for quite some time. It doesn't seem like she's planning to slow down at all, and that is none other
You're talking about
than Miss Jasmine Crockett.
Baby Crockett.
Seriously? Don't make me laugh, please. Bro, it's hurting. I want to get into her clip because I can't do the clip any justice. Y'all have to hear this woman in her own words. She has been crashing out left and right, and again, another bad look for the Democrats. And if they think that these policies and strategies that they're using is going to help them, I just don't know what to tell them.
He is doing more than, well, he did say he'd be a dictator on day one. Oh, Democrats, you know, it's just Trump. He just talks. Well, let me tell you something. He is doing more than talking. We talked about Project 2025. We talked about the consolidation of power. We talked about how he wanted to be a king. We talked about in a democratic republic, that is not what it is. We have some sort of checks and balances, and he is doing everything that he can to get rid of those checks and balances. The DOJ and the people that he's going after were simply doing their jobs. The problem is that Americans thought that it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him the president of the United States, and then they want to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States, and if we don't wake up, we may not have a United States, because right now he has only been successful in being a divider in chief. Well, he did say he'd be a dictator on day one. Oh, Democrats.
Excuse me. Yes, Miss Jasmine Crockett. She's been crashing out hard. She's been crashing out hard. She, you know, she said, y'all voted for him. Y'all elected a thug in chief. And this is what you get. Huh?
She is queen of the wild frontier.
The what?
Queen of the wild frontier.
What the hell is that? What are you talking about?
Baby Crockett, king of the wild
Oh
frontier.
my God. Listen, you are so white. Anyway, yeah, Jasmine Crockett, she, you know, I wanted to get this other video, but the video was just way too long, and I didn't feel like having the producers clip it and stuff like that. So I'll paraphrase. Jasmine Crockett was in another interview because for some reason, we have Democrat lawmakers, legislators, congresspeople, whatever you want to call them, who are siding with President Zelensky. They're siding with Mexico. They're siding with Canada. They're siding with China. And Jasmine Crockett even had the audacity to open her mouth and say something along the lines of, it's basically kind of crazy that she's actually rooting for Canada and Mexico. And that's why I continue to ask the question, do these people not really understand that they live in the United States and they're elected officials in the United States?
Them checks.
It, to me, is more than just checks. For somebody to be, no, I can't say it's only checks. These people reportedly believe in the nonsense that they spew. They are deranged and delusional, all wrapped up into one.
I don't believe it.
Because I do. I honestly do. I believe that they are so anti-Trump that it's literally clouding their judgment. And then she goes on another tangent to say, just a whole bunch of stuff that's just like, what?
Well, I agree with that. Okay, so two things can be true at the same time. I agree with that, right? Zelensky.
You trying to tell me this man don't have no suits in his closet?
No, that's not what it's about. Zelensky is not going to wear a suit until the war is done. He is, for him, that's their military attire. At a time of war, their leader, that's the attire their leader wears at a time of war. to show solidarity with the frontline soldiers, right? That's actually an admirable thing. Right?
That's understandable. That's understandable. But he's shown all across the world and speaking so defensively against the president of her country, to me, it's sending signals to the rest of the world that there's holes that they can slip into. And it's just a bad look for the country. And it's also kind of dangerous as well.
I have a different perspective. My perspective is that the holes have been slipped into, and that's why you are seeing these actions from people like that. Now, somebody like a Jasmine Crockett, the salary for that position is about $100,000 a year, but somebody like that has a net worth of now millions of dollars. When I say it's the check, I'm not talking about the check that it's on paper.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's more to it than just the check. That's how I honestly feel about it. And I do feel like a lot of them are suffering from a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. And then they just have different ideology.
It also could be, too, the fact that if I'm paying you millions of dollars to do this job, right, and it's all under the table, and you can't just decide all of a sudden you ain't gonna do this job after you don't got paid the first $2 million. Your life, your kids' life, your mama life, your sister life, everybody's life in danger. Don't play with me.
I don't even think it's that deep. I feel like these people believe in all these policies that the Democrats bring forth and the Democrat handlers bring forth. I mean, she's really, because she said something, getting back to the men and women's sports thing. Her ideology is just basically they're looking to bully these people and demean them and dehumanize them. And it's like, Jasmine Crockett, as a woman, how do you not see that these individuals participating in women's sports is dangerous for the women involved? And then that's a very big significant part of it. But there's other aspects of it as well, because when these transgender women, they come into women's sports, they dominate. And then what happens is it's taking opportunities away from the biologically born girls, where they're losing scholarships and funding for other programs because they're losing them to males who wanted to women. It's just an all-around crazy situation, and now that somebody's trying to do something about it, they're being accused of being transphobic and homophobic and every phobic you can think of. And I honestly just think that is a really disingenuous tactic, because it's just common sense to many people. But the Democrats are fastly becoming the party of no common sense. So this is why we're seeing everything we're seeing now, where they don't want to, get in alignment with anything that Trump or the Republicans are trying to do. And I just feel like it's ultimately going to be detrimental to the country, because there could be some gains made, but if they can't get on the same page, then it's just going to be stagnation. And I think that's what they want, because they want Trump to fail. They think that that's a smart strategy, as if he's not successful, it's not going to have an effect on the people. And that's just like, I don't know what type of reality these people are living in. But as we get nearing the end of the show, I want to pull up this article, because this one is fresh off the press, and it has to do with China.
No.
What you mean, nah? Yeah, it has to do with China. It has to do with China. They made a very strong statement.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And, shout outs to a little show that we used to do called Urban Country opponents, because this theory was first uncovered then. So I'm going to ask you this question 4 years later, 5, 6 years later. I'm sorry. Would you rather be the United States of China, or the United States of China, or the new Republic of Russia?
Is that a serious question?
I'm serious than a heart attack.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know too much about either of those countries, but I guess that's a very good question. It's actually a very difficult question to answer too.
It's a real question. And that question actually has biblical ties. I do remember a little story from the Bible, and I'm not a Bible thumper, so I can't give you the doggone scripture or tell you where it came from, where in the Bible, but I do want to say Revelation. The bear, the eagle, and the dragon. Can you figure out who's who? The bear, the eagle, and the dragon.
Mm.
Which countries? Which 3 countries? If you had to put those 3 countries onto those.
Well, we all know the eagle is going to be the United States. I'm guessing the bear is Russia, and the dragon, you said, is China.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little story of the bear and the eagle and the dragon being the superpowers, and the bear, the eagle, and the dragon.
That's interesting.
But then again, this humans were blood level, so
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. But yeah, and this is fresh. We always get a caller right as we about to end the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me go ahead and take the call first.
I guess maybe they'd be waiting for you to officially open. They're waiting for you to say it. Because I'll be flashing the phone number, but maybe they're waiting for you to say it. They just be
Oh,
listening.
no. How you doing, caller? Thank you for calling.
I'm doing good. And yes, it's like these people are lunatic. It's really like you're seeing lunacy. The effects of corner store food. I don't know what it is. It's just complete insanity, you know? And it shows just how unreal this world is, because, I mean, this is like, now that we have a reality star as a president of the United States, now that there is one, they've made the whole thing like a reality show.
Right.
You know, Jasmine Crockett, she killed herself when she said, "What is $5,000 to do for you anyway?"
Mm-hmm.
Quote. And she said that. She said that with a straight face to people, to all of America. What is $5,000 going to do for you anyway?
Yeah, she did
You know,
say
and
it.
it's complete insanity, complete lunacy. They're completely out of touch. And now everybody's trying to be an influencer and get that viral moment. You know, it's just like the representative, Al Green, you know, and Al Green would be, you know, turning his grave, you seeing that craziness, but Al Green wasn't crazy like that. Like, I mean, this guy's over there talking about he's doing this for his constituency. No, you were trying to get a viral moment. You're trying to go on, you know, because all the stuff he said about why he did it is not true. It's misleading. It's false. And so this is what you see. You see a party of lies. You see a party that supports Zelensky, who is over there kidnapping children to be part of his personal war with Russia. They have some, if he had a suit, he has a suit for Forbes magazine. He was trying to get
He's
You
at
know,
war.
this is who this guy is. You know, so he's trying to go viral. You know, everybody's trying to go viral. You know, so who's really controlling all of this? I have to say, social media is controlling the world right now because
You know what?
everybody's trying to go viral on TikTok.
You make such a great point. A really great point, and thank you for that perspective. Because when I was watching it, I was like, "Dang, this looks like a reality show." It was crazy.
Exactly.
All the drama.
So even the one where the mics, did you guys see the post of the mics? JD Vance and Speaker Mike Johnson speaking in front of the hot mics, the hot mics.
I told you I was falling asleep. I fell asleep at least 5 times.
This was all on the internet today. This is the all on blast of the internet today. So one of the things that they're crazy about, that everybody's going crazy about, is that there was this captured moment between JD Vance and Speaker Mike Johnson in front of the hot mics.
Okay.
Well, Vance walked over. They knew the mics were hot. Vance actually reminded this guy that the mics was hot. And then they proceeded to talk. Because, like you said, everybody's looking for that viral moment. Everybody. And you see, now Trump has doggone social influencers on his team. They helped him get to the White House. You know what I mean? So
everybody want to be Trump. Listen, Trump might be looking for a viral moment, but Trump is a viral moment.
he is a viral.
Like,
It's a walking
he's
fucking
just
viral moment.
just a walking
Well,
clown
to the
show.
Democrats, he's a virus. But you know what?
He's a virus.
But you know what? This is the crazy part. Speaking of viral moments, he's only acknowledging people that go viral on the internet. Like there was a child that went viral on the internet because he had a police suit on or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
On the State of the Union, Trump deputizes this child honorarily. You know, it's called some honorary Secret Service agent. You know, the black child.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a child or a Gary Coleman fan or I.
No, it was 13. 13. Yeah, that's the kid who had cancer. I think he had like 6, 7 surgeries, or But you make a good point though, with everybody wanting to have a viral moment. I didn't even really think about that. Although, like I said, when I was watching it, the parts that I did see when I was awake, is that it was kind of like it did have, remnants of a reality show.
If you go back and
You know,
watch it,
I'm gonna say this. TikTok is the president of the United States.
boom,
So China owns America.
boom,
That's what I'm saying. That's everybody.
boom.
Everybody's trying to go viral. That's what it boils down to. You know, it's not. I mean, there's people trying to do good. There's people trying. I mean, even holding on to these absurd policies and weird stuff that are detrimental to a lot of people that are not. We want to say it's equal opportunity, giving people all this stuff, acknowledging this and that. But these things are very absurd. You put them in prisons with women. Come on now. This doesn't make any sort of sense and any sort of anything,
Right.
So it's like, where does this even come from? And how did we get here? Did we just appear here? Where stuff like that is just like cool, or I don't know how we got here, but a lot of people want to get out, and that's what you're seeing. The sentiment is, I think, there's a lot of people want to get out, and now everybody's in their own reality show. TikTok is the president of the United States.
Ooh, I don't find that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling.
So wait, before you go, since you did bring that analogy, would you rather be the or the new Republic of Russia?
China or Russia? I mean, they're both communist states.
Which one would you rather be a part of, sir?
China are.
As you just pointed out, China. You just pointed out so that China is currently the president of the United States, right?
China is currently the president of TikTok.
So, do you think we would be better off under Putin, or would you rather stay under China?
You know what? I like Putin. I like what Putin's doing. You know, because he's definitely on the right side of time, fighting with these nationalist Nazis that are running Ukraine right now. And people made a great point. I heard this interview with people, and there was a great point made that because they're like, Zelensky's a Jew, so how can there be a Nazi state of Ukraine? Zelensky being a Jew in Ukraine, being Ukraine's president, is like Obama being president of the United States and saying that there's no more racism because Obama was president.
I see what you're saying.
You know, so him being a Jew in a racist state that's been racist is just the equivalent of Obama being president.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But just so you guys you've heard it first here, right? Black revolutionists say they're going for Putin rather than China.
Listen, at least wasn't it Putin that at least showed the picture of what Jesus really looks like?
That was
At least he's didn't tell the truth about that part.
Putin.
Yeah, but you know when China's over there, they got these people in Africa trying to do the whole Berlin agreement thing where they're dividing states and just colonizing.
Oh yeah, get China up out of here. Yeah, get China all the way up out of here. No. I forgot how they over there just tearing a new ass, and China gotta go. Yeah, China gotta go. Yeah, it just had to be Putin. China gotta go.
And Putin. Yeah.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for calling.
Jelly speaks truth always.
Thanks. Good night.
Yo.
You know what? Yeah, you don't have no sense. No sense. I was about to read my article. Let me do that right quick because this is fresh off the press. I believe this came out today from the BBC. And it says China has warned the U.S. it is ready to fight any type of war after hitting back against President Donald Trump's mounting trade tariffs.
Right, because see, Donald Trump is aligning himself with Putin, so of course China go.
But I thought Russia and China were allies.
All right.
So it goes on to say, the world's top two economies have edged closer to a trade war after Trump slapped more Chinese goods. China quickly retaliated by imposing 10 to 15% tariffs on U.S. farm products.
Good.
So, what is this president's
Wait for the
name?
farmers.
What's his name? President Xi Jinping?
Yeah. Xi Jinping.
Whatever. I'm not finna try to say
Xi
that.
Jinping.
I don't have time for that. Okay,
Xi
so
Jinping.
please. But listen to this. Listen to this because he made a strong statement. He said, if war is what the U.S. wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight to the end.
Just let it happen while Trump is
Again, if the U.S. wants a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end. So he's making it known that China's ready to get active. Whatever Trump on, they're on it too.
See, what a lot of these motherfuckers don't understand is that Donald Trump doesn't bluff. Donald Trump doesn't bluff. He does not bluff. If he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. Unless the courts come in and say he can't do it. It's or unless the freaking bullet didn't took his ear, it ended up lodged in his head instead. But if he says he got aces, believe that motherfucker got aces. The EU tried it the other day when Zelensky came here. Right? They thought it was a whole bluff. All of that shit was going down in the doggone White House in the Oval Office. So they went and they proceeded to push their bluff. Oh, we'll stand with you, Zelensky. We'll send the money. We'll send the troops. But we're going to need America to join with us. What do you mean you're going to need America to join with us? You're going to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, but China is not the Ukraine. And then it goes on to say that they will be China. What? I can't with these names. All right, so
China's a very powerful nation, but you see, we got a very. Thank God, right now we got a very. I hope this shit goes down right now. If it has to go down, it needs to go down right now. Who was able to negotiate out of this? Right now, if that shit was to go down right now.
All right, y'all just gonna have to bear with me because we went a little bit longer.
Yeah,
I gotta put in, but China did go on to say that they will be increasing their defense budget this year. So I don't know, people. What do y'all think? I mean, you can still drop a comment. I will read your comment. They said they're ready for whatever America's ready for. So basically, this president is saying that, okay, if Trump is going to increase tariffs, we'll do the same thing. This is my sentiments because, like I said, the Democrats I see on social media on a daily basis from Democrats about how basically Trump is making the United States an enemy of the world.
Man, listen.
So a lot of people are afraid right now, and the media really isn't helping because you see headline after headline basically saying that these tariff situation is going to be detrimental to us as citizens of the country because all of our prices are going to go up on goods and services. And
listen, make we understand. If you want good, your nose have to run.
mm-hmm.
What it basically means is if you want to get better, it has to get worse first.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go. Every time, if you look back in your life, everybody that's listening right now, if you look back in your life, every time you were going through absolute hell. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Hell for a race. We need to embrace high gas prices for a minute. We need to embrace these high freaking things for a minute because guess what's going to happen? Our farm. How long does it take for it to get here?
I'm on the same page with you. I said this earlier to someone. The guy who actually posted the article of what the Chinese president said about he's ready for whatever America's on. I commented because people were discussing it, and it's just time for Americans to be ready to get their hands dirty again. Man, we got to get back to work. I remember some odd years ago, I was working at a damn factory. I mean, Americans will work. We have hands and feet. We can go to work. Like, we don't need...
have these standard factories back. You gotta have these factories back. That's the thing.
Yeah, they gotta bring some stuff back home.
And that's what he's doing. And that's, at the end of the day, you gotta watch the end goal. But these fucking idiot Democrats, they want to get caught up in whatever sadistic reason they're doing it for. Whatever sadistic reason they're doing it for, they need to just cut that shit out of here. Actually, an elected official who actually is supposed to be there for your constituents, no shadow after dark when you're talking about your constituents.
Okay, yeah, so like I said, and like I've been saying throughout the entirety of the show, the Democrats got to get on board. They're gonna have to get on board. And y'all gotta be ready to get on board for the greater good of the country. Because if you support all these other countries, then just go ahead and move to those countries.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
not
let
even
the party
trying to.
die, because the party's going to die. The party is going to die. If
Yeah.
you continue down that road, party's going to die.
You know that is difficult, especially when you dealing with the opposition. You know, but that's what they need to be an example right now, and work with people that they disagree with. They're acting like a bunch of children, honestly. So anyway, we have come to the end of the show, and I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. Again, if you are here for the first time, welcome. If you did join us from any of them, drop a comment. I will read your comments. And feel free